And welcome to a packed council meeting. This is unusual for us. Generally, we sit here and look at each other. In compliance with Chapter 231 of the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice has been given to all members of the governing body and to the newspaper so designated. Also, notice of this meeting has been posted on the Borough Bulletin Board. I'd ask that you please rise for an invocation followed by a salute to the flag.
Dear Lord, please guide us tonight that our decisions will benefit all Mountainside residents. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Take a roll, please, Martha.
Councilman Lane is absent. Councilman Messler?
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli?
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer?
Yes.
Councilman Turner?
Yes.
And Councilman Schoen is excused.
You've all received a copy of the minutes of the regular meeting of February 20th. I'll entertain a motion to accept said minutes or correct if necessary.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions, comments, or corrections? Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler?
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli?
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer?
Yes.
Councilman Turner?
Yes.
And next, you've all received a copy of the work session meeting of March 13th. Again, I'll entertain a motion to accept or correct if necessary said minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler?
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli?
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer?
Yes.
Councilman Turner?
Yes.
I'm going to deviate from the printed agenda slightly. We have three very nice events occurring here in our community this evening. Followed by, we're going to have a reception of light refreshments upstairs on the community room on the second floor. So I ask you, bear with us. We'll get through the municipal business in a hurry, go through some nice presentations, recognizing some of our neighbors, then taking a little trip outside for a moment to see the truck, the new municipal community bus as you saw it as you walked in, and then proceed upstairs to have some refreshments. At this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to the Mabel Young Award Committee for their annual presentation.
Mayor Villanti, members of the Mountainside Borough Council, and citizens of Mountainside, first of all, on behalf of the committee of the Mabel Young Good Neighbor Award, allow me to thank you for the opportunity to use this forum for the purpose of presenting this year's award. Each year, Mountainside recognizes and salutes a member or members of our community who have made outstanding contribution for the betterment and the welfare of Mountainside. As a measure of their accomplishments in our appreciation for the superlative service, the community presents the Mabel Young Good Neighbor Award. Mabel Young was a woman of indomitable spirit. She was imbued with the belief that we are each truly our brother's keeper. Tonight, the recipients of the Mabel Young Award for 2007 follow in the tradition of Mountainsiders, caring for Mountainsiders, people who have given their time and talents and love to in an unassuming way, seeking no acclaim or recognition, but always giving and being their brother's keeper. Tonight we were pleased and privileged to thank and to honor Mary Greeley and Hedley Ted Weeks. Will you both please come forward? Please sit. Yes. The Greeleys live on Central Avenue, and the Greeleys have lived in their home for 16 years, and Mary has been a constant source of energy and enthusiasm to her family and the community at large. Mary is married to Bob Greeley, a longtime resident of Mountainside, and they have 5 children, 4 daughters and 1 son. This is just in the opposite of my family. My parents had 5 children, 4 boys and 1 girl. Besides her family, Mary has also been blessed with many other talents, which include her ability to sew organize social and educational events, and sing. Mary is a mezzo-soprano, has a mezzo-soprano voice that the community enjoys every year at the annual Mountainside tree lighting. For years, Mary has organized the Mountainside Girl Scouts to come out and sing at this festive event. Mary is a member of Our Lady of Lourdes Rosary and Altar Society, where she organized social and fundraising events and served as the society's president for 2 terms. Mary has also served as a narrator for the church's Christmas concert. Although she spends considerable time running her children from school and volunteering for countless events, her most admirable service to the community has been through Girl Scouts, where she influences approximately 200 girls a year. As a troop leader for each of her 4 daughters, Mary has spent 17 years planning age-appropriate opportunities to the girls of Mountainside, and she shows no sign of stopping. Recently, when no one would represent Mountainside to the Girl Scout Council, Mary stepped up to the plate and took on the added responsibilities of the community unit leader. Mary has all the best attributes of a leader, and her sound judgment, love of children, sense of adventure, creativity, and enthusiasm. As the town coordinator, Mary is also a constant source of inspiration and support to the other 40 town troop leaders. She has held special training sessions with her older scouts at Camp Hoover, as younger girls could benefit by swimming in the lake or taking a crack at the challenging rope courses set up at camp. Mary has a knack for keeping scouting fun and rewarding throughout a girl's socially challenged high school years. Mary Greeley has been a strong, positive role model for hundreds of school-age children for nearly 20 years. Mary, congratulations to you. Now let me tell you something about our other recipient of the Mabel Young Good Neighbor Award. Hedley Weeks, known as Ted, was nominated for this award not only for the things he does for his immediate neighbors, but for his work on behalf of the Borough of Mountainside and the County of Union. Shortly after moving to Mountainside in 1956, Ted became treasurer of the group that worked towards the building of Beechwood School. After serving as a county committee representative in the 1960s, he was also the co-chair of the PTA Fair for 2 years. When the Mountainside commemorated its centennial in 1995, Ted worked tirelessly as a member of the steering committee that planned the celebration. Ted has been an active member of the Community Presbyterian Church in Mountainside. He was a member of the choir for 20 years, was appointed elder, and taught Sunday school for 5 years. In the year 2000, Ted served on the Mountainside Board of Education Advisory Committee in providing for the use of Beechwood School once again. As for his neighbors, Ted has always been willing to put others before himself and offer help whenever needed. He never says no, whether it's driving elderly people to medical appointments, assisting widows with repair problems, or visiting and cheering up infirm friends. Ted always makes himself available. He regularly makes personal sacrifices to help others and always does so in a manner that avoids bringing attention and recognition to himself. Since his retirement in 1991, Ted has spent a great deal of time working for Habit for Humanity. He serves as chairman of the committee that has the difficult task of deciding which families get to live in the houses they build. It's called the Family Selection Committee. And as a member of this committee, I can attest to the amount of work and the number of times he has hit me on the head for not moving fast enough in some things. Ted is a true resistance man with broad and varied interests that he pursues with enthusiastic vigor. His zest for life and his genuine regard for what other people do draws them to him like a magnet. Ted is also a consummate man, family man. He and his wife, Bobby, raised 5 girls. 3 of them have carried on their father's legacy as active participants in the daily fabric of Mountainside life. He and Bobby still live in a house they built when they first arrived in Mountainside. Now, 50 years later, Ted is still devoted to the town and all the people who make it special. Ted, congratulations to you. Mary and Ted, please stand up. The community congratulates you and thanks you for the many things you have done for Mountainside and its residents. Both your names are now on the plaque, which will be hung in Borough Hall. Oh, and one last thing. I have an announcement here. Tonight, Tuesday, March 20th, Barbara and Thomas Neeram called from Florida to congratulate Mary Greeley and Ted Weeks on receiving the Mabel Young Good Neighbor Award. They are sorry that they could not be here to attend the ceremony. The Neerams are among the first to receive the award in 1983.
One more thing from the Mabel Young Committee. This is the 25th year we've given this award.
We're not going to hear that.
And we've invited past winners, and I wish they would just stand up and introduce themselves. Come on, Bobby Lee, Ruthie Dunson, Kate Parsons. Mabel's daughter lives in Westfield, and she very much wanted to pass on her good wishes to both Ted and Mary. She unfortunately has a Board of Ed meeting, which always meets the same night we meet, but she does say congratulations. And we're happy that you all attended, and please join us for refreshments upstairs after the meeting. Thank you.
I forgot, one thing I forgot to mention, as was started in 1998, the 2 winners become winners of $1 million lottery. That's $1 a year for the next 1,000,000 years. Congratulations.
I promised Mr. Bradshaw, a former council member and a member of the Mountainside Community Fund, that we'd make our breeding real quick so that we could all go upstairs afterwards and enjoy some refreshments. But I don't want to skip over, because what you are seeing here this evening is exactly what makes Mountainside what it is. You've just been introduced to 25 years of good neighbors, from the original to today. We're going to honor some other people in a moment who have taken care of our youth in the Boy Scouts, as Mary Greeley has done with the girls. And then you have the next group that's coming up after this on the community bus and the foundation that they've put together. In the audience right now, I see retired volunteer firemen. I see retired council people. I see retired Board of Education people. This is what makes Mountainside, Mountainside. And next, I'm very pleased to give 2 recommendations of commendation, and I will read them. They are identical except for the names. Whereas the Cub Scouts of America were founded on February 8th, 1910, Whereas the Cub Scouts is one of the largest youth-serving character-building organizations in America, boasting more than 110 million alumni. And whereas the purpose of the Cub Scouts of America is to provide an educational program for boys to build character, train in the responsibilities of participating citizenship, and developing personal fitness. And whereas, and in Mountainside, we have two very special people who have started the program and it's growing, and I'll add a little bit later on that. Whereas Brian Kenny and Joe Vargo recognize the benefits of a community's improvement of character building that the Scouts produce. And whereas Brian Kennedy started in the Mountainside Cub Scouts as an assistant Cub Master, served as a den leader from 1998 to 2002, and has held the title of Cub Master since 1999. And whereas Joe Vargo began as den leader in 1999 and has served as committee chair since 2001. Whereas both Joe and, whereas Joe Vargo was the recipient of the Patriot Path Council BSA 5th Annual Tribute to Women Award in 2005, and also served on the Council Training Committee for many years. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Mountainside that Brian Kenny and Joe Vargo are hereby commended for their commitment and dedication to the Mountainside Cub Scout program. Also, proof of this is we now have a very active Boy Scout program in town, and we have been recognizing Eagle Scouts. And to the Scout Masters, I will tell you, I was in Scouts 50-some years ago, and I still to this day remember who my Cub Master was and what that gentleman did for all of us. To the Cub Scouts, you will in the future still remember who was in your pack years from now and some of the nice things that you have done. It may seem today it's just another day, but you someday in your lives will look back with very fond memories. And I'm going to ask Bob Messler if he would join me in presenting these two commendations to Brian and Joe.
I was hoping this wasn't going to happen, that I was going to have to say something, but it is. Brian and I have worked as a team for many years now, and we both, well, I shouldn't speak for Brian, but I know it's the same. We both truly believe in this program. We truly believe that the boys in this town should be afforded other opportunities outside of the school and outside of sports, and there's a lot to be learned. The program is broken into 4 main areas of God, country, self, and family. And we've all grown as a family. All of the scouts and families that I've worked with for 8 years, and Brian's been with us for 9. And it's been a truly rewarding experience to me. Just the little thank yous that I get from a scout here and there is the reason why I do it. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to thank all of the parents who get their boys to meetings and who support the boys, because without the parents, the Cub Scouts doesn't work. Thanks a lot.
And to the Cub Scouts in the audience, you can go home and next week have Mom and Dad tape this show, put it away in a box, and 25, 30 years from now, you'll sit and reminisce about tonight. Next, I have Resolution 52-2007. Councilman Mortimer?
This resolution approves the transfer of certain budgetary funds as allowed by law in the first 3 months of the year within the 2006 municipal budget under NJSA 40A:4-58 as recommended by our Chief Financial Officer, Jill Good.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 53-2007. Council President?
Resolution 53-2007 is a resolution approving the following three positions at the Mountainside Community Pool for the 2007 pool season. John Tasato as pool manager at a salary of $9,337.50. Matt Stewart as assistant manager at a salary of $6,432.50. And a new hire, Robert Reber, as assistant manager at $6,200. And this is recommended by Frank Masella, our pool director, and I make that motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 54-2007, a resolution that will authorize a refund for a duplicate payment of taxes on Block 3.G, Lot 26.D, in the amount of $578.16 as recommended by the Borough Tax Collector. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 55-2007. Councilman Mirabella?
Yeah, this is a resolution which will allow the borough to apply for the 2006 tonnage grant program with the State of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection under the Recycling Act of 1987. So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 56-2007. Council President?
Resolution 56-2007, having established the position of website coordinator through ordinance number 1121-2007. This resolution will appoint Adam Lieb to that position for an annual stipend not to exceed $2,600, effective of this date.
A motion. I have a second.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Poll the board, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 58-2007. Councilman,
57?
I'm sorry, 57 rather. Glenn, thank you.
As recommended by the CFO, this resolution will cancel a balance from capital ordinance number 1034-01 in the amount of $18,121.34 and capital ordinance number 1060-03 in the amount of $26,209 for a total amount of $44,330.34 to be returned to the general capital appropriations.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
I think the next resolution, our young residents will be happy to hear of. Keith, Resolution 58-2007.
Resolution 58-2007 is a resolution that will authorize the borough CFO to enter into an agreement and make payment in the amount of $15,000 with Garden State Fireworks for the 4th of July 2007 celebration, which is going to be held at Mayor Vigliante's backyard.
Bring your own refreshments, Tom. Rain date is the next day, July 5th.
And it'll be held in its usual place.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? I'll make one comment. Half of this is paid by the Mountainside Fire Company. They do
Excuse me, Mr.
contribute,
Mayor. Half of that half
or half of that
is
half.
paid by the Mountainside Fire Company.
And the other half of
other
that half
of
is
the
paid
half
by
is
PAL?
paid by Mountainside PAL.
PAL,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Half of a half, a quarter and a quarter. Quarter to the fire company, a quarter to PAL, half to the borough. With that correction, I have a motion. Poll the council.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 60-2007.
This is a resolution which will confirm the appointment of Councilman Robert Messler to the Union County Transportation Advisory Board, and Mike Disco Jr. as an alternate for a term to expire December 31st, 2007. So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. Next, I have Resolution 61-2007. Bob?
Yes, this resolution approves temporary appropriations under NJSA 40A:4-19 of the Local Budget Act into the temporary budget for year 2007 as recommended by the Borough Chief Financial Officer Jill Good. So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Poll the council.
Councilman Messler?
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli?
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer?
Yes.
Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 62-2007. Council President?
Resolution 62-2007 is in compliance with a directive from the Office of Homeland Security. This resolution will demonstrate that the support of the Mountainside governing body regarding the establishment of a National Incident Management System, better known as NIMS, to standardize procedures while enhancing local and state readiness for any disasters. And I make that motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. Next, I have Resolution 63-2007. Paul?
Yeah, having received two bids for contract 2007-1, which is the installation of lights at the Deerfield Baseball Field, the Borough Engineer Michael Disco recommends the bid be awarded to the lowest bidder, that being Quality Electric Construction Company of West Keensburg, New Jersey, in the amount of $107,425. So moved.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler?
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli?
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer?
Yes.
Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 64-2007.
This resolution will establish a change fund for the community pool in the amount of $50 as recommended by the pool director, Frank Masella, and sanctioned by the borough auditors.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler?
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli?
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer?
Yes.
Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 65-2007.
Yes, Mayor. This resolution will authorize the borough to exceed the time allowed by law to adopt the year 2007 budget due to unforeseen circumstances on both the county and state level. So moved.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler?
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli?
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer?
Yes.
Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 66-2007.
As provided by NJSA 40A:4-20, the Local Budget Act, this resolution will authorize the borough's chief financial officer, Jill Good, to make certain appropriations to the budget before the date of adoption for the purchase of public works equipment and/or vehicles in the amount of $80,000.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler?
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli?
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer?
Yes.
Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Almost done, Nick. Next.
I'm enjoying it.
Well, you remember 30 years ago, we used to stay here till 11 o'clock. You remember those days, right?
No.
Alzheimer's said it, okay. We remember. I have second reading of ordinance 1123-2007, plus a public input. Paul?
Yeah, this is an ordinance to appropriate the sum of $180,000 for the resurfacing of Central Avenue, Section 5. So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second,
Second.
and this is also with us getting the DOT contributions. At this point, I'll open the meeting to the public to discuss this ordinance only, 1123-2007, on the resurfacing of Central Avenue, Section 5.
Seeing no public participation, I move that section be closed.
I have a motion to close the public portion. All in favor of closing the public portion?
Aye.
Any other questions or comments from council? Hold the council, please.
Councilman Messler?
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli?
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer?
Yes.
Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Next, I have second reading on ordinance 1124-2007 with public input. Glenn?
An ordinance to appropriate the sum of $20,429 from the Capital Improvement Fund for the purchase of a police vehicle. This vehicle will be an SUV.
I have a motion, second reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any questions or comments from the public on ordinance 1124-2007?
Seeing no public participation, I move that section be closed.
A motion to close the public portion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any other questions or comments from council? Hold the council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, I have Resolution 59-2007. Keith?
This resolution will authorize the borough's police department to purchase under the New Jersey State Contract Number A67059, a 2007 Dodge Durango four-wheel drive in the amount of $20,569, as provided in NJSA 40A:11-12A and NJAC 5:34-7.29 c. And this is I make that motion. This is not an addition to the police fleet. This vehicle is going to be replacing a retired police cruiser.
I have that motion. Do I have a second on council?
Second.
Any other questions or comments? Hold the council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
And next, I have second reading on ordinance 1125-2007, which will include public input.
This is an ordinance to amend ordinance 1083-2005, Section 2 of the Borough of Mountainside by amending types of vital statistic records. So moved.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? At this time, I'll open the meeting for the public to discuss ordinance 1125-2007.
Seeing no public participation, I move that section be closed.
I have a motion to close the public portion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any other questions or comments from council? Hold the council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
And the last one I have is first reading introduction of 1126-2007. Paul?
This is a bond ordinance to authorize improvements to the recreational facilities and purchase of recreation equipment in, by, and for the Borough of Mountainside in the County of Union, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $127,500 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such appropriations, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? Hold council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer,
Yes.
Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Next, I have a motion to approve a raffle application received from the Mountainside Restoration Committee, Inc., for an on-premise 50/50 draw raffle. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. Next, I have a motion to approve a raffle application received from Children's Specialized Hospital Association Auxiliary to the Board of Trustees for an off-premise draw basket raffle. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. We have bills to pay tonight, Bill?
Yeah.
Glenn?
Yes, we do. Be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Mountainside that the following bills of the persons named and for the amounts stated below, having been duly audited and found to be correct this 20th day of March, 2007, the same be paid after council's review if and when funds are available, and that the mayor, council president, administrator, and treasurer are hereby authorized and directed to sign and deliver warrants for same. Total $1,536,469.81.
I have a motion for the payment of the bills. Do I have a second?
Second.
Poll the council, please.
Councilman Messler,
Yes.
Councilman Mirabelli,
Yes.
Councilman Mortimer, Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Before you heard me mention about all the wonderful people that have contributed to Mountainside, and this evening, that tradition is going to be continued through the presentation of the Watts Foundation. Let me tell you a little story about Blanche and George Watts. They lived on Short Drive, and when I would go home at night, especially in the summertime when it was nice, George used to like to sit out in the garage on a little lawn chair, and if he'd see me coming, he'd run and wave me down. And he'd say, "Mayor, there's vines growing on a line on the road 3 blocks away, and this one needs a telephone pole and this and that." Well, sometimes when I was in a real nasty mood or I was tired or what have you, I'd take a different way home. And then yeah, I'm being honest with you. And then every year, we'd have reorganization meeting, and Blanche and George would come. And Blanche used to like to be a conservative individual, and we'd have cookies left over. And Blanche would take them. And I say, Blanche, give those to the police and the rescue squad. She'd say, they have enough. I freeze them. They go well for my guests. And I thought, okay, they're real nice people. Gee, maybe things are kind of hard, and so be it. And he'd wave to me, and I'd see them, and lo and behold, they both got ill and passed on, and you know the story. In their hearts, they must have loved Mountainside tremendously, because they left this community with an endowment that will benefit residents beyond our life. The things so far that has been done because of their generosity to better the lives of our young, middle-aged, and old in Mountainside is astonishing. This evening, you're going to see probably the largest to-date contribution of their generosity. As I indicated, you walked in here and you saw the beautiful Mountainside Community Bus. It is a bus that is handicapped accessible. It has a lift. It will be able to take people who are confined to a wheelchair. Our driver is getting her C license?
That's correct.
CDL license. We are presently making a commitment to properly house it back here in the borough property. But this is just one small thing of the generosity of two people who I guess in their hearts, Mountainside was their child, because they left a considerable amount of money to this community. They were astute enough to put it in the hands of some very reliable Mountainside people that really truly care about this community. And this evening, I'm going to introduce, I guess, Mr. Bradshaw, you're going to do the presentation this evening, and I'd ask if you, for the audience, would introduce the rest of your members who I see here. And this is the first of probably many benefits that Mountainside is going to receive in the years to come from Blanche and George Watts. God rest their souls.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's a tough act to follow. You've taken my presentation, but
Bart sent me your notes. That's how I got them. Always go to the wife, Nick.
since I was facing this astute group, would any of my fellow trustees who snuck in behind me please come up and join me here?
There's Bart, there's Sue. Who else is
Sue,
here?
right, Dewey.
Over there's, yes.
No, Chris just couldn't make it. But he was? Chris was here. I scared him.
Oh,
Mr. Mayor, could we impose on you again?
sure.
Come down here. Really, after that very eloquent introduction that the mayor gave us, there's little that I need to say or should say, other than on behalf of the Watts Mountainside Community Foundation, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to present you with the official key to the new bus.
On behalf of the entire community, I accept this with gratitude, and it's a wonderful thing that you people are doing. I can just visualize this. I've already had the driver come up to me. You know, you think you know our community, and sometimes you don't. And I asked her, I said, well, this is going to have a very expensive lift. I hope it will be used. She says, Mayor, I know of 4 people right now who could not use the existing van because we did not have a lift. And that's only 4 that she knows of. And to those 4 people, this is going to be a world of a godsend. And to each and every one of you, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm not kissing you.
Kiss him.
You heard that. He's going to wash and wax the front, I'll do the back.
Right.
Okay.
There's one other comment I'd like to make, Mr. Mayor. While the foundation funded the bus, it was your crew that put the specs together, put the bus together, put the decorations on it, and really, we thank you all for that effort.
We're happy to do that
It was
anytime
well,
you
it was
want.
well done.
Anytime you want. don't think I'm out of line on this. If anybody would like to contribute monies, the Watts Foundation will accept contributions that go into their fund. You are obligated to spend for the community,
For the benefit of the citizens
Of
of
the
Mountainside.
community. And everybody who's on the foundation is Mountainside
Correct.
residents. They have a professional investment firm that is handling it for them. You have to abide by certain federal regulations. So if you happen to have a few extra million that you want to give, you never know, do you?
I might add, there has been one very nice addition already in less than basically a year and a half of the foundation's operation. That's right,
Joe Komish.
right.
Yes.
So don't think that this foundation will go on, like I said, beyond our lives, because they have such a good foundation. It's well-intended people, they have it well invested, and it could perpetuate forever. So if you think about it, if you want to, Mr. Bradshaw, Sue Winans, they'll take your money. But again, thank you on behalf of the community.
I couldn't ask for a better spokesman.
Thank you. One minor thing before we can adjourn, I have to ask for a public portion comment, and then I'm going to invite everybody, the Watts Foundation, upstairs in the community room for light refreshments, and you can converse with your neighbors. And watch Nick and I watch the truck. At this time, I'll open the meeting to the public to discuss anything that's under the jurisdiction of the governing body, and I will impose a 5-minute time limit.
Louis Thomas, Friar Lane.
Good evening, Lou.
Good evening. It's a nice experience seeing all this friendship and goodwill, and I'm not here to spoil it. But I want to make a suggestion in all good faith, and just as an opportunity for the citizens to know more about these ordinances. Now, the ordinance 1127, 2007, ordinance to appropriate the sum of 180,000.
You're going to have to speak into the mic,
resurfacing.
Mr. Thomas. You're going to have to speak into the mic, otherwise people can't hear you in the back.
Okay. Ordinance 1123, 2007 is printed as saying, an ordinance to appropriate the sum of $180,000 for the resurfacing of Central Avenue, Section 5. Sounds great. But what
Okay.
is Section 5? And how much is that of Central Avenue? And what is the total status of Central Avenue? Is there more
Okay,
sections
if
to
we
be done?
were to do that, the ordinance would be about 40 pages long. Central Avenue, through state grants, was being done in 5 increments. Each year, if you go back on our minutes, we have gotten the state of New Jersey to give us matching funds to resurface Central Avenue. This is the final section. And why is it 5 sections, and why is it the way we have to do it? Because we can only get a certain amount of money from DOT each year. Central Avenue is classified as a main thoroughfare or cross street, so it complies with some of the DOT regulations. Our engineer knows what streets we can get DOT matching grants from. When we receive a grant from the state, that is now costing the taxpayers of Mountainside 1/2 the cost to resurface the road. We have to appropriate, prior to us being able to go out and do any kind of bids or advertising, we must have in line certified the funds. And that is always done by an ordinance. So what you see here now is a $180,000 ordinance, which will equal a $185,000 grant we received from the DOT to do the final section of Central Avenue. If you go back in the minutes for the last 3 years, you're going to find not only 4 other sections of Central Avenue like that, but you're also going to find other roads in town that we received DOT money for, that we were able to redo. Remember the $5 million of road resurfacing, but we did almost $8 million because we got a lot of matching funds. So, yes, we probably could make the little synopsis here, but Lou, it'd be about 5 pages.
Okay, so the 180,000 represents
Our
contribution?
portion, our
Our portion.
portion, correct.
And
Anytime we appropriate, it's what we have to pay.
Okay, and can I ask the question, what percentage of Central Avenue has now been?
This will make 100% of Central Avenue
Oh,
complete.
this is,
But Central being so long and with the state, we had to
Right.
break it into
Okay.
5 sections.
very good. And I might also make the suggestion, here again, just in a matter of clearance, I'm not doubting the virtue of the ordinances, but 1125, 2007, an ordinance, the amend ordinance of 1083, 2005, section, Borough Mountainside, amending types of vital statistics records. What is that? Doesn't say anything.
It doesn't, because basically speaking, we had to change an ordinance that's like 9 or 10 pages long because of the state. We had to make 2 or 3 sentence changes. For us to print that all out, to distribute out here, we'd be probably printing up 400, 500
Just
pages.
sum it up with a few words.
That would end up here in the hall in the garbage that are recycled.
That amendment was adopted to comply with, first, a Supreme Court decision having to do with domestic partnerships and adding that category to vital statistics, and then the legislative enactment that implemented that Supreme Court decision. So we had to add a category of vital statistics.
Anytime you or any member of the public would like it, you go into Borough Hall, they'll give you a full copy of the old ordinance, the proposed ordinance, and the changes. But to be safe, to be honest, we'd have a stack of paper like this if we
I'm
printed
sure,
everything out.
I'm sure. I don't doubt that, and I appreciate John Post's very
Concise report, okay.
concise, that's the word. Thank you.
Okay, Lou, your 5's up. Any other, now we have to go upstairs, we have coffee and cake. Anybody else have anything they'd like to discuss? Any comments from members of council?
I would just like to thank Brian Kenny and Joe Vargo for all their hard work towards the Cub Scouts, and it's paid off, and good luck in your next adventures. Okay.
Any other comments? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're going to go upstairs. The ones who are fit, you can take the steps all the way up. You old decrepit ones like me, the elevator will take you upstairs.